Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, all the hip hop heads worldwide, tengo el honor de presentar al único, inconfundible, the one and only EllMatic, yo.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Fan Talk. I'm your host Selector, and today we'll be discussing the 28th game of Hertha this season. Hertha BSC away at RB Leipzig. Let's go! Before I get started, I want to mention some events that have evolved here in the United States that greatly affect me and the people around me. Again, there has been an act of police brutality in the United States, a clear human rights violation. Another person of color has been brutally killed by the police. I feel like it is my obligation as a Hertha fan, as a human being, as a European, as a Berliner, as a human being of this planet, to speak out about this and to voice my displeasure with this, and also to issue a rallying call to all of my viewers and all my people around me to put a stop to this. We as a community, we need to speak out on social media, yard signs, by confronting people in the streets. We need to act whenever we see an act of racial abuse, of discrimination, of any type of injustice. We need to, when you see something, you need to say something. We need to come to the aid of our brothers and sisters that are so struggling in this country. Hertha always puts out statements condemning racial discrimination and other acts of discrimination. Whether it is Jordan Torunariga in a game at Gelsenkirchen, or another person of color being murdered or racially abused or confronted in a racial manner, it is our responsibility as a community to step up and to confront these people and to stand by the side of our brothers and sisters. There is a really powerful quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that really hits home with me, that I want to take an opportunity to read out to you. It says, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." Let's not be those silent friends. Let's act up, let's show solidarity, let's talk about it. Even if you're putting out a little social media story about how you feel and about how you condemn racism, you might not be changing the world, but you might reach somebody in your network that decides to do the same, and you might reach a racist that when he sees you speaking about it, maybe thinks about his actions and maybe makes an effort to change the way he thinks. It's the little things, it's the big things, it's all the things that need to be addressed. Okay, now that this is off my chest, I feel like I can go ahead and address the not so important things these times. The game of Hertha BSC away at Leipzig. So, Hertha travels to Leipzig for the 28th game of the Bundesliga. This is the first true test for our boys in blue and white. This is the first real opponent where we were able to see if it's a fluke, as in Hoffenheim being, having people missing, important key players injured. Union, who is playing well, but still a team that relegated up. No, this was RB Leipzig, a title contender. The best, one of the best, or the best defensive team in the league, with the second, with Werner, who is currently on track to becoming the second place striker for the Golden Boot. This is the game that showed us that our boys are for real, for real, for real. Wow. Let's take it step by step. So, first off, we came out and we looked amazing. I mean, the early press the gegenpressing on point. I mean, we came out and we almost, we definitely shook and startled Leipzig. They were out there like, what the hell is this? They couldn't find a recipe to calm us down in the first 10 minutes of the game. We had them. To see Hertha come out like this, I don't know when was the last time that I saw Hertha come out like that. Usually we're the team that struggles to find into the game, get scored on early. No, for arguably the first time this season, we score first. We net the first goal. Okay, you guys already know 2-2, right? So the first goal in the, 11th minute or so, a cross comes in from Plattenhardt. Apparently nobody gets to clear it, and Grujic manages to get his foot on it and slot it home for a goal. Epic. But it was also poorly defended, you have to say that. It was poorly defended because how often do you see a ball coming down to where somebody can kick the ball with his foot on a corner kick? So yeah, it was a difficult thing to judge the game on right away, right? Then a couple minutes later, a corner for Leipzig, and they basically score so right away on their first or second corner of the game, similar to us. It, again, on our part, was not a good defense. It looked like Grujic, who was marking the guy that scored, which was Klosterman, the center back for Leipzig. He just let him run. He let him score the ball by not defending and running with him. Okay, 1-1, completely fine. Then, of course, we fight. I mean, before the first goal even falls, Platte gets a head injury by a collision with, I think it was Tyler Adams, is concussed, but still brings in that cross for Grujic to score before he has to be subbed out really early as well. It was a really scrappy game. I have not seen this many head injuries or blows to the head in a Bundesliga game yet. I mean, it was Plattenhardt who had to be subbed out. It was Darida who fell down. It was Jordan Torunariga who was smacked in the head by a ball that apparently he didn't anticipate. It was a real fight. Our boys were out there fighting. They came out to play. I love it. The 2-1 for Leipzig. Horrible. Okay, let's start step by step here. First of all, Schick, who scored, was offside. He had the tip of his toes was in the offside. The same reason why Davy Selke's goal that would have seen us beating Dortmund got called back. Actually, Selke's goal was even worse because it was his heel and not his toe, so he was with the back to goal. But the VAR doesn't say anything because apparently it's Hertha, we never get the calls, you know. Actually, it was a difficult ball, but Stein caught it. It slipped through his hands, it hit him in the chest, it bounced out. He had, what he said in the interview afterwards, he wanted to immediately take the ball and throw it back out to start a quick counter. But instead of quickly countering, he does a really awkward motion with his arm and basically scores on himself. I know that this is fuel for all the Stein haters, but I still believe in Stein. He is a good keeper. This is not his year. He has made multiple mistakes in this season, 4 or 5 big mistakes that actually led to goals. But in all the years before that, he was the most solid person ever. This year is, whose year is it really? It's Cunha's year thus far. Everybody else has not played well. Yes, under Bruno Labbadia, we're being rejuvenated and we're showing that our quality and our class now, but that is such a small a small section of the year that on the greater scheme, Stein's performance just goes along with everybody else's performance. He just had another or an error in the last 2 games. It can happen. I still believe in Stein. I still believe that we do not need another keeper immediately. I want to see the season out with him, and then we can draw a conclusion on him. So the game continues, and red card, Halstenberg, which is the left back of Leipzig. The second yellow card, both yellow cards were completely okay. They were both yellow cards. Shit happens, out the game. When that happened, even though they were up 2-1, I got the feeling, or you could feel the players feeling, that we can actually win this. If there is a chance to beat Leipzig at home, this is probably it. So we threw everything forward. Leipzig being up a goal and down a man did the logical thing, and they drew back a little bit. They had 5 across the back after they scored. They were just maintaining, they were just trying to see this clear. And we were coming at them, and all they had were counterattacks, and it looked fantastic. Yes, we got the penalty of a Lookman who fouled Cunha, Cunha is just so lively. Every time we were playing the ball around and nobody takes a shot, give the ball to Cunha will let it rip. Every time. He wants to score. He is energetic. He's making those beautiful runs in. He's always available to receive a pass. He wants the ball. Amazing. Again, top performance by Cunha. Gets fouled in the box. Piontek steps up, and man, Piontek was subbed in, as well as Mittelstädt, who came in for the injured Plattenhardt. Darida came out for Piontek. Lukabaku, Dilrosun came in for him. Maya came in for Skrielbred, and Nankam came in for Ibisevic. I'm super happy, side note, that Nankam and Dilrosun got another appearance, because I really see them as the future of our franchise. Anyways, Piontek comes in, is arguably still cold, has ran, maybe 8 minutes or so, and gets put to score such an important penalty for us. And this man has ice running through his veins. This was truly a big goal for us and for him. You have not played in, in multiple 4 or 5 games, come cold off the bench. And okay, sorry, I take that back. I think he played still under Nuri, but the Corona break, then the first 3 games where he didn't start, he had a couple minutes here and there, but this man was cold, and he scores this penalty in a fashion that is scary, but apparently very effective. I'm not a big fan of the run-up, stutter, look where is he going, and shoot, because if you miss or you fail, you look dumb. But he did it well. He scored in pure Lewandowski style fashion, sees us through for a 2-2, and as much as it hurts, because we all felt that a win was possible here, if anybody would have asked me before the game and would have said, go to Leipzig, get a draw, I would have taken my pen, I would have signed that. Bam! I'll take a point over Leipzig, definitely. So, I'm not going to let that missed opportunity get me down. We came out, we looked fantastic. And I almost want to say that Bruno Labbadia did what I had mentioned in the last episode. That, he did not come out and play in a 4-4-2, which I had proposed. I thought was a nice defensive yet strong offensive stance. But he came out in a 4-3-3 that kind of moved a little bit back to a 4-2-3-1, which in a second I will show you on the whiteboard what I'm talking about. But on defense, when we didn't have the ball, came to a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, I guess, because Darida was more acting as a false 9 or a hanging striker or a center forward. I am still really happy about this game. So he didn't change much from the formation that was out in against Union. So we had Pekarik as right back, Boyata, Torunariga as center backs, Plattenhardt on the left, Grujic again as that holding midfielder, Skjelbred next to him. Skjelbred was again involved in the gegenpressing or in the early press that we were doing, and Grujic again was securing that line, and I think that that is a wonderful system. Multiple times I saw them try to get all out of the high press that we were doing with a long ball and Grujic intercepting it with the head. I think that this system works really great, especially with Skjelbred and Darida, who are both just so energetic and can just work and run non-stop. After 90 minutes, you feel like they can do another 90. That's just the energy that they show. Lukabaki on the right wing, Darida as center attacking mid, Mateusz Cunha left wing, and Ibisevic up top. But enough said, let's do a quick little tactical analysis on the board, and I will show you guys how the shifting worked, and we take it from there. All right, welcome to my first proper whiteboard session. So, here we see the team organized in a 4-3-3, where you have two holding midfielder, Darida up here. So, I clearly say 4-2-3-1 because if these guys just come down here a little bit, drop down a little bit, we will have the 4-2-3-1. So there's really not much of a change. So what happened, however, was that when the opponent had the ball, we had these guys here doing the high press. I mean, depending on where the ball is, it would only be one winger that got involved. That's why, again, you know, these guys, let's say the ball is over here, these guys would all pressure up there. Again, Grujic would slip in the middle to right here. And yes, that was working beautiful again. However, when we weren't in possession, these guys dropped off to make sure we have a nice little 4-4-1-1. Darida, of course, he would position himself not directly here. He would move a little bit slightly here, so he could come here or here, and the long target man, as in Ibisevic, would stay up there. The reason why I said a 4-4-2 is a great defensive position is that it doesn't matter which side of the field you're looking at, you always have numbers. If they have a striker here, there's two persons on him. They got a winger here, it's two people on him. There's a winger here, there's two people on him. It's just, you can really dense the field and make the rooms in between defense and midfield really tight. This room right here would be really tight and hard to play into. Also, what Hertha did is we went a little bit deeper than usually. So, okay, this is a bad indicator, but we would basically position ourselves somewhere around here, like right outside the penalty box, so that we could take away Werner's speed, where it wasn't possible for them to play a ball over the top into a winger running in or a Werner running. I mean, Werner was frustrated this whole game. I should have looked at the stats and told you how many ball contacts he had, but he was really frustrated, was subbed out early for a young player in the end, of course, because there was not much to get, especially since they were so defensive, but we really frustrated them. These two units came together really nice and tight and frustrated the hell out of Leipzig. Again, Bruno Labbadia, masterclass. So as we saw on the whiteboard, Leipzig had a really tough moving forward. I mean, one goal off a corner that we should have defended better. Okay, I give him that. The second goal, which was a fluke that shouldn't have happened. I'm looking now at the stats of Timo Werner. 0 shots on goal, 0 assists, 0, it's not an assist, it's a Torschussvorlage. It's when you basically give a pass that leads to a shot on goal. 0. He had He ran 8.3 kilometers, had 40 touches, and played 23 passes, of which 17 reached their mark. His tackling was 56%, his passing was 74%. Now let's compare this to Hertha Ibisevic. 2 shots on goal, no assists, no goal, no pass that led to a shot on goal. Ran 8.6, old man wins here, had only 20 touches, played only 13 passes, 10 of those reached their targets, which is a 77%, which is better, and won 83% of his tackles. Take that, Leipzig! Salt in the wounds, baby, salt in the wounds. So, amazing job by the Hertha squad. I mean, oh my god, they did fantastic. So let's just quickly look at the stats of the game. We had 12 shots on goal, they had 11, of course 2-2. They ran 108 kilometers, we 110. They played more passes, 465, we played 349. Pass percentage they had of 84, we had 81. This is against Leipzig and we are not below 80. This is fantastic news, guys. 50-50 on the tackling. We had 7 corners, they had 4. Maybe we should have scored one more of the corner. Anyways, gentlemen, these are good numbers. These are good numbers. I can live with this. This is showing that even under pressure against top teams, our numbers are still looking right. Fantastic. It still amazes me. How can you take a team of 24, 26 players and remove a coach trainer, and pop 2 other guys in, and suddenly 380 degrees? The reason why I'm saying it just now is because Leipzig was the true test. But this sport is just so beautiful. It's so amazing what little things change the whole face of the team. I mean, we were struggling on the Kovic, we were struggling on the Klinsmann, we were struggling on the Nuri, and suddenly you bring in Bruno Labbadia. 3-0, 4-0, 2-2 in Leipzig. Before the game, 2 shots on goal allowed in 2 games. 9 goals in 3 matches. As a Hertha fan, I mean, mind-blowing. Amazing. I am so psyched. I just want to see the rest of the season. I am so excited. I can't sleep. I can't wait for the other games to come. Next up, Augsburg. This was the team that got, the game in the Hinrunde that got Kovic fired. It's redemption time again. It's almost like another little derby with Union. It's time for Stein to make up his mistakes and maybe a clean sheet would be great. It's time for the team to really come together and tear this team apart, like how we've been tearing them apart thus far. Great. Also, I think if I remember right, Augsburg lost. So did Gladbach. Unfortunately, Wolfsburg won, so they're, pulling away a little bit again. Well, not away, we're still 1 point closer than we were before the Union game. But yeah, it gives me hope. Seeing how we performed against Leipzig, seeing that some of the bigger opponents, such as Leverkusen and Gladbach, who are still ahead for us, are leaving some feathers, showing signs of weakness, is a great sign, guys. It's a fantastic sign. We are looking super good. The opponents are having issues. Oh, let's go, man. Let's go. This is so exciting. I can't wait. Fully excited, looking forward to the Augsburg match. At home. Let's tear them apart. Let's show what we can do. Yeah, let's go, man. From Atlanta, Georgia, my name is Selector. Ha-ho, hey, Hertha BSC.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the hip hop heads worldwide, tengo el honor